Yeah, exactly. If you can just set up those pages and put the prompts for the members area and then tag everybody, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll talk later. Bye. Oh, sorry. I just had to take that call. Um, and now I am here with you manifesting. Oh, shit. Let me just grab. I forgot to take the bread out of the oven. Oh, hey there, manifesting generator. Welcome to today's video where I'm gonna do a really long and drawn out explanation of all the nuances about what makes you a manifesting generator. Just joking. I know you don't have the patience for that and you're busy multitasking. So let's cut right to the 3 essential things that you must know as a manifesting generator and what really makes you different than the generator aura type. Must know thing number 1 about being a manifesting generator is that you are a generator. Okay, so what do I mean by this? The generator aura type is a type of aura. It means that you have a certain properties to your aura. And everything about the generator aura type applies to you because you have a generator aura. There's absolutely no difference between the generator and the manifesting generator in terms of the type of aura that they have. And this is a big misconception because, I learned human design 11 years ago. At the time, if you were learning human design, you learned that there are 4 aura types: the generator, projector, manifestor, and reflector. Even in the human design Bible written by the creator of human design himself, Ra Uru Hu, there are only 4 aura types, and the section on the manifesting generator is really just a couple of paragraphs within the generator chapter. So, nowadays, in the age of social media and the internet, it's just really in vogue to talk about the manifesting generator as if it's a 5th type because people like to feel special and it caters to everybody's egos. But in fact, it's poor teaching. And really, the manifesting generator is the generator. And in fact, it's actually really beneficial to think of yourself as a generator because it's important for you as a manifesting generator to really learn how to wait to respond and to honor the properties of your aura, which is that you have an attractive and enveloping aura just like the generator. I did an amazing video last week about the generator, and everything in that video applies to you, and it would be really good foundational information. So I'll put the link to that there. My human design teacher, John Martin, who is now deceased, really emphasized for the manifesting generators to shed that emphasis and to focus on understanding the mechanics of the generator aura. And that served me greatly in learning how to perceive the timing of things in alignment with how my aura functions in the world. If you would repeat after me, I am a generator aura type. Okay, so thing number 2 for you to know about being a manifesting generator is what makes you the manifesting part of the manifesting generator. And this has to do with having a connection between one of the 4 motor centers and the throat center. The motor centers are centers that have energy to propel you forward. And each of the motor centers has a slightly different kind of flavor to it. The root center is a adrenaline or pressure to do. The emotional center or the solar plexus is emotion fueled motorized energy. The sacral is that life force that resonates with something and propels you into action. And then the ego or the will center is this willpower to do and make promises into the future. Having kind of like a punchy, like, I will do this, but maybe not ongoing energy to sustain doing over time, like the sacral center. So the sacral center to the throat. Channel 3420 is actually the quintessential manifesting generator channel. It could also connect indirectly through the G center, and that would also be a manifesting generator. You could connect from the root indirectly to the throat or up through the sacral to the throat. Could connect from the ego or the will or the heart center up to the throat, or through the solar plexus to the throat. So you could have any one or all of those motor centers defined in your chart, and somehow they are connected, or one of those centers is connected up to the throat center. The throat center is where energy moves into action. So the throat is where you create something, you say something, you manifest something. And so having a motor to throat connection is what makes the manifestor a manifestor. In contrast to the manifesting generator, the manifestor does not have a defined sacral center. So in essence, as a generator, you have a defined sacral center, which gives you that open and enveloping aura like the generator, but you also have a connection between the motor center and the throat, which allows you to propel into action, to work well independently, to get things done without anyone else's influence, perhaps to be a bit impatient because you just want to get up and go, to move quickly from the energy or the impulse to do something into the doing of it, and perhaps to have a lot of things on the go because you've got the energy to move from that vroom vroom motor into let's go, let's do this. So I was trying to joke with you and demonstrate that energy of like just having a lot of things on the go in the beginning of this video. So it might be interesting for you to take a look at your chart right now and see which of the channels are connected that are making that motor to throat connection and making you into a manifesting generator. I outline all of the sacral channels in my 11 sacral channels free guide, which I will put in the description box below. And that is a really great way for you to learn more about the specific characteristics of the channels that you have coming out of your sacral center. So you can access that for free below. So my dear, you are not a generating manifestor. You're not a manifestor. You do not have a dense repelling aura like the manifestor does. You are a generator that has some properties of the manifestor because you have a connection between the motor and the throat. So what does this mean in practice? Let's look at the number 3 thing for you to know about being a manifesting generator, which is to learn to pay attention to the timing of things by using your strategy and authority. So in human design, the strategy for the generator aura type is to wait to respond. And this is especially helpful for you as a manifesting generator because you are going to likely have a tendency to just jump and go and start things quickly and impulsively. And some of those things you will not have the life force energy as a generator with sacral definition to sustain over time. And that can be very detrimental because it means that you put yourself into situations where you actually don't have the energy to fulfill on the execution of what you got yourself into. And that can really over time dilute the power that you bring to things. It can affect your reputation. It can make you suffer from self-doubt and a lack of self-confidence because you never really get any traction. You don't go anywhere with your projects. They never really take off because you don't give them the amount of time and energy and focus that they would require for you to really thrive and take off. And so instead of doing that, if you learn to wait to respond, you're going to have a much better sense of which projects you will actually want to start and that you'll be able to keep going with until they're complete, and which projects you won't be able to sustain and complete. A quick example of this is when I first started learning to salsa dance, I got a sense that I probably would want to teach salsa dancing. And so I started to learn how to lead as well as follow. And I didn't just go ahead and start teaching and promoting classes. I waited to respond. So I waited until there was actually a cue from my outside world that indicated that there was something to go on. It wasn't just an idea in my head. And eventually, people started to notice in my town that I was dancing all the time, and they got curious about it. And about 4 or 5 people asked me to teach them. And that's when I knew, okay, this is a real thing. This is wanting to happen. This is actually supported by life. And I went ahead and I created some classes, and it worked out really, really well. And they were well attended, and it was really fun. So that timing and getting that cue from the outside world showed me, okay, this is really, really happening. And it will reveal which projects are actually being kind of called for and supported by life. In contrast, before I knew about human design, I thought that I should be starting an online part of my business, and I created this free video summit, which was an insane idea. Like, this was a long time ago, probably in 2010 or 11. And I traveled all over North America doing video interviews. And I even flew to Hawaii to interview Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I never got to even interact with him because it was just my idea in my head. It wasn't supported by life. The entire interview series was extremely frustrating. It didn't go anywhere. I put out like thousands of dollars in investment and got very little return, and just ended up feeling drained and disappointed and frustrated, meeting resistance after resistance through the entire project, start to finish. It was not supported by life. I hadn't waited to respond. I was forcing it the whole way. And that is a very typical manifesting generator unconscious behavior if you're not actually honoring wait to respond. The generator is actually an inherently yin being. And that's why that first point is so important, is we're learning to primarily identify with the yin generator aura, which is waiting to respond because it's open and it's attracting what's right for it. Once you honor that strategy of waiting to respond and waiting for cues from life that you want to move forward with something, then you can learn to honor your inner authority. So your authority will either be sacral authority or emotional authority. And I have videos about both of those that I will link in the description box for you. If you don't know about your authority yet, it's very important to understand. But that is going to kind of safeguard your life force and make sure that you don't waste your time and energy and money and things that are not going to really work out well for you. And my dear manifesting generator, I truly hope that you begin to honor your life force by not squandering it. Even though you have a lot of it, there's a limit to how much you can kind of just waste your energy in your life doing things that don't yield good fruit. Nowadays, I've really learned how to harness my energy as a manifesting generator, how to discern where to put my focus and where not to, and to be effective with using my energy. So that would be my number one wish for you. 1, that you understand you're a generator. 2, that you honor that precious motor to throat connection that you have and how valuable it makes you as a powerful creator, and learn to honor that by number 3, honoring your strategy and authority so that you can make sure that you're using your energy well. Once again, I'll put the link here to that 11 Sacral Channels free guide that I created for you. And I'll put the link here to the Manifesting Generator playlist so that you can learn more. So much love. See you again soon. Bye.